Do you know that the world's heaviest machine weighs 7,000 tons? It is so large that 50 people can live inside it, cook food, sleep, and not come out for months. This machine cuts through mountains, makes paths from under the oceans, and cuts 50 tons of rock in 1 hour. Today, I will give you such amazing information about the tunnel boring machine that you have never heard before. Welcome to Time Titans Network videos. It was the year 1805, London's Thames River. People lived on both sides of the city, but to meet each other, they had to travel for hours. Someone thought, why not make a path from under the river? People tried, but as soon as they started digging the ground, water would come in and workers would drown. In 10 years, they tried 3 times and failed every time. One day, a French engineer, Marc Brunel, was sitting in his house. He was worried because he had also gotten the job of building a tunnel under the Thames. He was thinking how it could be possible. His eyes suddenly fell on a piece of wood kept on his table. This wood had small holes in it. These holes were made by a worm called shipworm. Brunel looked at this worm carefully. This worm would cut the wood with its hard head and leave behind a strong tube that kept it safe. An idea jumped like lightning in Brunel's brain. If this small worm can do this, then I can too. He worked hard day and night for the next 2 years, and in 1825, he built the world's first tunnel boring machine. This machine worked exactly like a worm. A large iron frame like a shield. Inside it, 12 small rooms. In each room, 3 workers. These 36 men would cut the soil in the protection of the shield. From behind, other people would build a brick wall, and then the entire shield would move forward with hydraulic jacks. Work started. Everything was going well. But in 1828, a terrible day came. Brunel's son Isambard was working inside the tunnel when suddenly the sound of an explosion came. The water of the Thames River rushed into the tunnel with full force. Screams, shouts, darkness. 6 workers drowned and died right there. Isambard was also swept away by the water, but somehow he survived. Work stopped completely. The tunnel remained closed for 7 years. People started saying, this is impossible. But Brunel did not lose courage. He collected money, improved the machine, and started trying again. In 1843, after 18 years of hard work, the Thames Tunnel was completed. It was the world's first underwater tunnel. On the first day, 50,000 people came to see it. London's newspaper wrote, "Man has defeated nature." But this was just the beginning. In 1853, in America, an engineer named Charles Wilson thought, what if the machine ran on steam? He made the first real tunnel boring machine in a coal mine. It had rotating cutters, steam gave it power, and soil would come out automatically. 3 to 4 feet of tunnel would be made in 1 day. But the problem was that it only worked in soft soil. It was useless against hard rocks. Then, in 1882, Colonel Frederick Beaumont made something that changed the world. His machine could cut hard rocks with shiny steel cutters. The rotating head would make 30 revolutions every minute. It ran on compressed air. When it cut chalk rock for the first time, people were amazed. The walls were so clean as if they were polished. Britain and France decided that they would build a tunnel under the English Channel with this machine. Work started, but stopped due to political reasons. That dream had 100 years left to be fulfilled. The 1950s came, and a revolution occurred in the world of engineering. An American engineer, James Robbins, presented the concept of a modern tunnel boring machine. hydraulic power instead of steam, a large rotating cutting head with hundreds of tungsten carbide cutters and an automatic conveyor system. This machine was 10 times more powerful. Speed also increased. Tunnels started being built all over the world. Then in the 1960s, another big step was taken. A brain came to the machine. Computer, sensors, electronic control. Now the machine could decide itself how fast to go, how much pressure to apply, where to stop. Speed increased 5 times. In the 1990s, when the internet came, the tunnel boring machine also went online. And engineers sitting in the office could see what the machine was doing several kilometers under the ground. Today's tunnel boring machine is a moving city. Length 400 meters, the size of 2 football fields. Weight 4,000 tons, equal to 800 elephants. Diameter 19 meters, the size of a 6-story building. It uses 15,000 kilowatts of electricity, equal to 15,000 homes. Cutting force 50 meganewtons, enough force to lift the Titanic ship. 30 to 50 meters of tunnel is made daily, 1 kilometer in a month, 10 to 12 kilometers in a year. If you go inside this machine, in the front you will see the crazily rotating cutting head. On it are 80 to 100 diamond cutters. The price of each cutter is $5,000. These cutters have to be changed every 200 hours because they wear out from rubbing against rocks. It takes 2 to 3 days to change one cutter. You will wonder how the cutter is made so hard. These are artificial diamonds that are made at 5,000 degrees Celsius temperature and 50,000 bar pressure. Their surface hardness is 8,000 HV, so hard that one cutter can cut 1,000 tons of rock. Behind the cutting head is the middle section. This is the heart of the machine. Here are 200 hydraulic jacks, each one powerful enough to lift a car. 500 sensors are measuring pressure, temperature, position, everything continuously. 50 cameras monitor every corner. The central computer stores 50 terabytes of data. At the very back is a small factory. Here, robotic arms place concrete rings. These arms can lift 10 tons of weight. In the same section is the living space for 50 workers, a kitchen, bathroom, and office. These people live here for months and don't go out. Now the question is, how is this wonder made? First, 6 to 12 months are spent just on design. 200 engineers work, more than 10,000 drawings are made, computer simulation is done, soil samples are tested. Then the work of making it in the factory starts, which takes 1 to 2 years. For the cutting head, 100 tons of steel is needed. 3 months of time is required. Cost $10 million. The main shield is a 40mm thick steel, 20 meters long, 1,000 tons weight. It takes 6 months to make. For the hydraulic system, 10,000 liters of oil, 500 meters of long pipes, 200 jacks and cylinders are needed. 4 months of work. When the machine is ready, taking it to the site is a separate mission. 200 trucks are used. It is sent in 500 parts. Special sea ships are used. Insurance of each part is $1 million. After reaching the site, 3 to 6 months are spent in assembly. 100 technical experts, 500 workers, 50-ton cranes, day and night work. Now I will tell you the stories of some of the world's most amazing tunnel boring machines. The first story is of Bertha. In Seattle, America, in 2013, this machine was made. Diameter 17.5 meters, the world's largest. Weight 7,000 tons, like 1,400 elephants. Length 300 meters. Its cutting head had 260 cutters, each cutter $8,000. Work started. Everything was going fine. But in 2014, suddenly the machine stopped. 30 meters under the ground, it got stuck. They tried, but it didn't move. What to do? The engineers made an amazing decision. They dug a 120 feet deep pit in the ground, reached the machine, repaired it, and restarted it after 2 years. This repair cost $80 million. The second story is from Switzerland. In 1996, a dream was seen to build the world's longest railway tunnel from under the Alps mountain, Gotthard Tunnel. Length 57 kilometers. 4 large tunnel boring machines were used. 2 machines started from one side, 2 from the other. Work continued for 20 years. 28 million tons of rock were extracted. $12 billion were spent. In 2010, that historic moment came when the machines digging from both sides met. People were amazed to see, in 57 kilometers of digging, there was only 8 centimeters of difference. 8 centimeters. This was the miracle of modern technology. The third story is very interesting. In 2018, the Crossrail project was going on in London. The tunnel boring machine was working at 40 meters depth. Suddenly, the machine stopped. The cutters hit something hard. When experts checked, they were amazed. These were 100-million-year-old dinosaur fossils. Work stopped. Experts came, took out the fossils, kept them in the museum, and then work started again. Another amazing incident. In Washington, D.C. in 1970, a metro tunnel was built. Work was completed. Now, the question was what to do with the tunnel boring machine. Taking it out was so expensive that the engineers decided to leave it there. Even today, that machine is buried in Washington's ground. No one knows where it is, how it is, but it is there. Now let's move to the future. What will tunnel boring machines from 2025 to 30 be like? Completely automatic, no need for humans. Will run on artificial intelligence. Will make decisions themselves. Will repair themselves. Will be environment friendly. Will run only on electricity. Carbon emission 0. Can even run on solar panels. Nanotechnology will be used. Small but powerful cutters. Less energy, more speed. The most interesting thing is that space tunnel boring machines are being made for digging tunnels on the Moon and Mars. Special design will work even at -200°C temperature. Now, I will tell you how much a tunnel boring machine project costs. Just the machine's price is $50 to $100 million. Transport, $5 to $10 million. Assembly, $10 to $20 million. Operation, $50 to $100 million per kilometer. Workers, salaries in the entire project, $200 to $500 million. If you want to build a 10-kilometer tunnel, then the total cost is $1 to $2 billion. Hearing this, you will feel it is very expensive. But if you do this work the old way, then it will take double the time and 3 times the money. One last amazing thing. If we add up all the tunnels dug by tunnel boring machines, their length is more than 100,000 kilometers. This is equal to 2.5 circles around the Earth. This is 1/4 the distance to the Moon. China is now using the most tunnel boring machines in the world. China has built more than 5,000 kilometers of metro tunnels in the last 20 years. In more than 100 cities, there is underground metro. Buys 100 new tunnel boring machines every year. Now China is making its own machines and selling them to other countries. So this was the story of this amazing machine that started from a small worm and today is changing the entire world. That made the impossible possible. That made paths under the oceans, inside the mountains. That wrote a new history of human courage. The tunnel boring machine is not just a machine. It is a masterpiece of human imagination, courage, and science. It proves that if man determines something, then nothing is impossible. 200 years ago, People had not even imagined that we would be able to cross from under the ocean. But one person looked at a worm and saw a dream. That dream changed the world today. Who knows who will see a dream tomorrow, and how will it change the world?